Hey everybody, what's going on? Let's talk about a Nature's Prophet utility build that I've been working on. Now, I've tried this build at least 20 times. Nature's Prophet is my most played hero. I'm going to talk about the items, I'm going to talk about the skills, I'm going to talk about the strengths and the weaknesses of the build, or the yin and the yang, as some would say. Items, you're going to go phase boots, so you can use phase and then sprout somebody, catch up to somebody and sprout them. Phase boots first, and then you're going to build a Mekansm. After you build a Mekansm, you're going to build a Rod of Atos or a Solar Crest. Now, the order of those depends on how many stuns and roots you have on your team. If you need something to stun and root people in team fights, you're going to go with Rod of Atos first. If you need something just to help your team kill an enemy quicker, you're going to go with Solar Crest, or to help buff one of your cores. Strengths and weaknesses of this build. The strengths and weaknesses are really also based on the type of hero that it is, and since Nature's Prophet has a lot of versatility, a lot of it is inherently within Nature's Prophet, the hero, but the build does add a lot to it. So early team fighting, it's actually essential that you fight in every early team fight, especially once you get your Mekansm. You have a lot of healing potential to give your team, and you always have to be map aware. Second strength of this build is that you're really good at making space. You're an offlane Nature's Prophet, most likely. You can do this build from almost any lane, but offlane is what I would recommend. You're ridiculously good at pushing towers just because of the fact that you're a Nature's Prophet, and you can almost always get some kind of safe farm again because of the fact that you're a Nature's Prophet. Now, the weaknesses to this build. It falls off. It does fall off. You don't have a lot of right-click damage. You don't have a lot of damage output with this build. This build is about sustain, survive, and maintainability for your team. It relies really heavily on your teammates. It might not be the best build to do in solo queue because it's infuriating if you have somebody who doesn't know how to play carry or a mid, and you're running this build here. It will make you go insane. If you have a teammate that you can team up with, go for a party game. You know that he's a good carry or he's a good mid player. This build's really nice. It also has one hidden strength that I would like to point out that a lot of people don't appreciate enough about certain builds, and that is that this build works really well if you have a jungler. So if somebody picks a jungle LC on your team, that's your damage output. That's the output that you're missing from your offlaner. You're not building an offlaner here that's going to do a ton of DPS, but if you have a jungler, you can offset your jungler by by picking this Nature's Prophet, and you can create space and then push towers and save other people in team fights with your utility items. Alright, let's hop into a game that's gonna show off this build a little bit. Hopefully I do it properly. I'm not positive, but we'll see. Let's hop in right now. Alright, here we go. It's Nature's Prophet game time. So let's take a look and see what we're gonna do. Now we're gonna look at the map real quick, and we see that this team is getting ready for
30 seconds to battle.
A smoke gank on our bounty ruin. So luckily we have a Quap. Quap can get away from smoke ganks pretty well. If it was another hero, we'd be in a little bit more trouble. One thing I want to note right now is that I spawned my treants. I'm sitting in base because I want to use my treants and have full health full mana at the 0-minute mark. So right now I'm spawning a set of treants. I spawned my first set of treants at 53 seconds. Oh, I should have walked back in here for a second. I would have had full mana. I spawned my first set of treants at the 53-second mark, which allows me to cancel this, or to attack and deny this bounty ruin if they do something like this. Go for the offensive bounty steal. Now, another thing I want to note is that on the dire side of the map, with treants, you can block this wave so well. This wave on the dire side, the offlane wave on the dire side, moves slower than any wave in the map. This wave on the radiant side right here, the offlane wave, it picks up speed around here. The dire wave picks up speed like around here. So you have a lot of space to block with Nature's Prophet here. Notice like where my creep wave is. Like, this is a ridiculously good creep wave. Normally it's like right here. And it's not like this guy wasn't blocking either. I didn't see how well he blocked. I wasn't looking, but that's okay. Now, what we're gonna do, since we already have one wave of treants out, I use my wave of treants. I should spawn another wave instantly and start doing some harassment. This Spirit Breaker was looking for a kill on me. And what I need to do right now is just try to get as many last hits and denies as possible, slow down this Phantom Assassin as much as I can. Now, I want to get shots off on the Phantom Assassin whenever I can, and I want to use my treants to harass the supporting safe lane on the Dire team. So I'm using treants attacking the safe laner and then backing up once my treants start taking once they start exclusively taking damage. If they're just taking a little bit of damage, I'll let them take a couple hits. They can kill a treant or two if it completely zones this guy out, because I have 70 base damage, 73 damage with a Null Talisman. So that's really, really good. Really high damage. Like, if you take a look around, this guy's at 53 and this guy's at 62, and I'm sitting here at 73. So my base damage is really high. I don't want him killing these. He did end up getting a kill on that tree out there. Kind of sad, but that's okay. I messed up here. I did a nature's call. I thought there was 2 trees here, but I only got 1. The cosmetics fooled me, but that's okay. We're getting some denies. We're getting some last hits. How are we doing in terms of kills, denies, last hits? Actually, where are you? Last hits and denies. We're okay. We're at 7-1 and PA is at 4-0, so we're actually winning this lane pretty hard. And PA is one of the harder heroes to actually do this strategy against, because she can close distance and dagger and kill you pretty easily. With most other melee heroes that you play against, melee carries, they can't close distance on you like this and do significant damage. Like if it's a Juggernaut, you can just hit him back up, and he can never really do anything to you. Same with Slark. Slark's actually really weak against Nature's Prophet in the off lane. I've done it against Ursa. I've played 20 games, more than 20 games with this build, off lane Nature's Prophet in a row. So I kind of feel I got a really good feel of what the strengths are. Now, Nature's Prophet, this strategy, this utility strategy, I mentioned earlier that one of the weaknesses is being weak on damage in the late game. That's especially true versus a Drow strat. Drow strats I have had the hardest time playing this build against, so I would not recommend it against the Drow strat, just because you need, I think you need a little bit of DPS to keep a Drow strat in check. Now right now what you want to do is just continue getting as many last hits and denies as possible, force the PA back, obviously deny your ranged creeps, and then, you know, move on and do what you can with the map. Keeping an eye on the map is really good to know if you should teleport, but I don't recommend teleporting that early. If I was, for example, to teleport and try to kill this axe or do something about this lane here, I completely abandon my tri lane, or sorry, not my tri lane, my safe lane, or sorry, the enemy team's safe lane. I let the enemy team have a free safe lane, and I don't want that. Now Bane's coming at me just to do a little bit of tickle damage. I should send my treants after him, and I think I'm gonna end up getting killed soon. I get charged by Spirit Breaker. This axe right now, if I wanted to, I could probably kill this axe no problem. Like I could teleport here and kill this axe. Oh, he's gonna get killed on our courier almost. Oh wait, this is my axe. What am I thinking? Wow, I am a bozo. I said that earlier. I was talking about this axe as if he wasn't on my team earlier. I'm used to these icons on the map, the mini-map icons. They show up differently if you're on the Dire team, but you're not watching a replay. It shows as these type of icons. That's why I saw this. I was like, oh, this axe. Alright, anyway, this is a jungle axe on our team. This is one of the things that I was saying earlier as well, that jungle axe is really good, or sorry, that this utility build works really well if you have junglers on your team, because you lack a source of DPS. Let's see if I get out of here. Oh no, he nightmares me. Now I would have escaped there. I just want you guys to know that I probably would have escaped there if I wasn't being charged. He wouldn't have had vision on me. So I could have been okay, but the Spirit Breaker was charging me. I was pretty much dead there no matter what. And with the Spirit Breaker in the game, you got to accept the fact that you might die once or twice. But you're building a utility build. It becomes a lot harder for this Spirit Breaker to kill you. Actually, heroes like Legion Commander and Spirit Breaker both don't do as well against Nature's Prophet as they expect when Nature's Prophet goes with the utility build. Underestimating the strength of a Mekansm is something that a lot of people have done in my games, but when I finally get a Mekansm up and a Legion duels me, I usually don't get killed. I usually am able to get my Mekansm off afterwards. If a Spirit Breaker charges me, I'm usually not dead in those situations. You have a lot of escapability with Nature's Prophet as long as you don't die too early. If you sprout yourself and then teleport out, you're pretty much safe. Like, you're usually safe sprouting yourself and teleporting out. Obviously, people can get Quelling Blades and other items to do damage to you, but when you have a Mekansm, you're tanky, and then you end up building a Solar Crest or a Rod of Atos, which gives you 15 strength, plus a root, plus a bunch of other survivability. Plus, it has a bunch of other survivability aspects built into it. You're probably going to be okay a lot of the time. Okay, let's speed up this game a little bit and get to the juicy parts. Now, I know it's kind of unsafe for me to be in this lane because I don't know where Spirit Breaker is, or I didn't know where Spirit Breaker was, so I went to farm these 2 camps. That's the good thing about Nature's Prophet, is that you can farm camps, you can farm these jungle camps, and then when the lane pushes into you, you literally just walk out to lane, kill what you can, and back up. Now, am I gonna get killed? I don't remember. Oh, here comes Spirit Breaker charging me. I have a wand. Do I die? I die again. I didn't use my wand and I died. Okay, so great start. 2 early deaths. But my last hit and my CS is really, really high right now. So if you take a look at my laning phase, I'm still doing really well. I've got 32 last hits and I've got 6 denies on this PA. And some of those denies are range creep denies. Actually, quite a bit of those. Maybe like 3 or 4 of those were range creep denies. I've been doing a good job making sure that the PA doesn't have total free farm. And this is a lane that against most people, I keep saying TA. PA would do really well against in, but Nature's Prophet is pretty good offlaner. Now, I'm going to be building my, I got my phase boots. So I got my phase boots and now I've got my mech queued up. When you get your chainmail and your ring of health, I recommend these being the first 2 items that you get. You get your chainmail. If you can afford the buckler right away, get the buckler, then build the headdress. But if you can't, get the chainmail and then the ring of health or ring of regen, obviously for the regeneration. Is this guy going to town over here? Oh, that's right. They have a Huskar on their team that starts doing really well, and I think I go with the Rod of Atos second because the Huskar needed to be rooted. I needed to stop him from doing things. Also, with this build, you're going to want to be pushing out lanes frequently. So using your Wrath of Nature a lot is really, really, really good. Am I going back to base? Where am I going? Oh, I teleported around the map, across the map over here to try to get a kill on the Huskar, which we managed to do. And now that we killed Huskar with my treants, I can push this lane. It's important to know when you're pushing lanes. I'm doing it right now. Send 1 treant out here. You keep this treant out here, and if their creep wave shows up, you just send your treant either into this camp or just send it somewhere around here. It'll delay this creep wave so significantly. You see it stopped for a split second. The creep wave stopped for a second. We pushed out. The creep wave stopped for a second. We pushed out. We pushed into this tower, but if they didn't send heroes here, we would be able to just flat out take this tower. And sometimes that happens, not a lot in high MMR games, but it's happened quite a bit in the 3.5K games that I played. And I need to go back to lane sometime soon. So right now, what am I doing? I'm probably just jungling it. Okay, I'm jungling for the moment, trying to get my Mekansm up and waiting to find another opportunity to push a tower. So here we are. I used up all my mana. I should buy a teleportation scroll or just go back to base. Yeah, I've gone and exhausted all my mana. The good thing is I can buy a TP scroll, go back to base, heal up. I've used Wrath of Nature. I'm pushing a lane with my treants. We're making space for my team. My team's down here trying to kill. Where are they trying to kill? We got a kill. I'm over here. I'm fighting. Uh-oh, I might die for this. Yes! Oh, I got the Huskar, but I wasn't expecting to. Alright, we got the Huskar on a kill. Now I'm picking up some of my items. I think these items were ready last time. I should have had them before. Okay, the reason I told you to get a buckler, if you can, before your headdress, is because buckler is another one of those really good pushing items. If you have a buckler and you're pushing a lane that's free like this, for example, let's say this PA and this Spirit Breaker were kind of low on health and they had to go heal. If I teleport into this lane right now and I push, I use my buckler, give every creep around me an extra 2 armor, and then do the little trick where I send my my treants forward. You're instantly in a position to take a tower. Oh, whoops. This is a teleportation that you should not do. I got myself killed here. I 100% got myself killed here. Ah! But it took him a long time. So that was a really bad play by me. Oh, am I gonna live? No, I'm not. That was a really bad play by me. I teleported here with no vision, not knowing where anybody was. A smarter play probably would have been to come take this farm and accept the fact that this tower was gonna stay online. Huskar and Magnus are waiting to kill my gyrocopter. I wonder if they do. I think I've died a number of times, but I'm making space for my axe. My axe is also still jungle farming. He just got his blink dagger. He's got blink dagger and tranquils, and luckily it's before the 30-minute mark. I don't know if you guys have ever played with an axe who's never jungled before, but it's infuriating. They don't know what to do really, and they're just like, oh, I got a 25-minute dagger. Why are you guys upset? Oh man. Okay. So what am I doing right now? I know what I'm doing. I'm looking for a place to fight right now. So with Nature's Prophet, a lot of the times you don't want to teleport somewhere until you find a good opportunity. I just teleported here to try to come get a kill on this Magnus. I saw my axe here. Magnus comes in. I think he's going to RP. Did he RP? No, he doesn't have mana. Yeah, so I waited. That's a really, really important thing that a lot of people don't do as Natures. They think that they instantly have to be somewhere around the map because they have global TP, but waiting is fine. Now I'm going to go bottom because I have a TP scroll in my backpack. So now I waited, or I used my teleportation, waited for the used my teleportation, then I used the TP scroll. Now I have another TP available, and then probably 65 seconds from there, whenever I'm ready, I'll have another TP ready. Notice that I'm teleporting back and forth across the map, trying to team fight a lot. So again, I'm over here, we're in a team fight, they get a huge RP off. I think I sprout this guy in a second. No, I don't. Probably gonna sprout him if he tries to leave. Alright, we ended up getting a couple good kills here. Sprout him, sprout him, sprout him. Got him. Alright, saved my sprout. Gonna send my when they sprout, you have to send your treants ahead of your sprout to try to block them afterwards. You can't keep your treants behind a sprout. Keep that in mind. Blocking with your trees is really, really, really important. If you don't know how to do that, you have a hotkey that you can bind to all other units. Mine is bound to F3, so whenever I press F3, it selects all my treants. I send them forward, and that way I can block people afterwards. It really helps you get I would say like 1 extra kill per game with Natures if you know how to do that. Now again, here, see what I'm doing? I'm sending this treant forward. If this creep wave shows up, I'm going to be able to stop it. Here comes Bane trying to do something to us. Doing a lot of damage to my gyrocopter, but I sprout him, keep him safe from the Spirit Breaker. Look at this lane. These guys were kept back here by my little treant. Anyway, I just did some damage. If these guys weren't here, we would have been able to take the tower easily, but also it keeps the wave away from us. And where am I right now? I'm probably back in base. Yeah, I am. I'm back in base. It's good to Nature's to use Wrath of Nature if you can while you're in base. If you see 3 creep waves on the mini map and you can use Wrath of Nature, use it. It's really, really good for helping you get some farm and pushing all the creep waves. Now at this point I'm waiting to see where I'm going to teleport. Notice I have my Mekansm and I know that there's people here waiting to fight. I think I'm going to teleport here somewhere. I teleport to the back, I canceled it, and I'm teleporting here. I'm looking for this kill on PA. Oh, we missed it. I need to get the sprout. Okay, I got 1 sprout. Alright, we played that really poorly, but that could have been a couple of kills if we played it better. Dropping my... Oh, nice. And he dropped an RP for that and getting nobody. I used my Mekansm and now I'm backing up, keeping everybody alive. Just helping out with these team fights, seeing what I can do. Now, with my teleportation scroll, I could go back to base right now, get full mana and come back, but I don't need to. We have a lot of heroes here. Oh, Axe jumps in with the blink call. We have a lot of heroes here. If I can get a sprout off on these guys, that would be great. There we go. Get a sprout. We should be able to kill this guy. There we go. 1 more hit. High damage. And now I'm just going to back up, heal up real quick, use my Wrath of Nature. Hopefully, let's see if I do. It's available. I should be using it. I see a creep wave. Or I might be teleporting back in to save this guy. I canceled it. I canceled it. I canceled it. Woo. Alright, so I used Wrath of Nature. I came out of base. I didn't see a good team fight to go to here. I started going here. Canceling your teleportation is very important as well with this Nature's Prophet strategy. So now we're up to our Mekansm, and we're just getting tankier. To build out of your Mekansm, you get 2 bracers, which makes you so tanky. My health is 1570 right now. At level 10, I got the 250 health. And then I'm going to get 4 more treants. Man, we're going to be pushing lanes like crazy. And they don't have crazy, any kind of crazy wave clear aside from Magnus's Magnetize to help them that much. So this is a good game to just completely push out lanes with the additional treants. At this point, I should be farming more. I need to be taking more farm around the map. I could farm here safely. I could be farming here. I could be farming here. There's really nothing for me to be doing over there. So it looks like I decided to go top. I noticed I needed to be farming somewhere. I wasn't looking for a team fight. And I have teleportation ready every 20 seconds. So if a team fight starts, the second that I leave that fight, which was unlikely, it takes me a maximum of 20 seconds to get back in it. Or maybe less if I have a TP scroll available and it's close to one of our structures like a shrine. Like let's say a fight broke out here, I could TP to shrine. Okay. We're going to look and see what these guys are up to. Am I going to keep farming this? I think I am. I've got Wrath of Nature available again. I'll probably use it right now. Notice another thing that I did right here. I have my treants set to push this wave because I don't want to go there. I don't feel like it's safe for me. I brought one treant back. I should be using Wrath of Nature, by the way. I'm just not sure if a team fight's about to start. If a team fight's about to start, having Wrath of Nature is really good. But anyways, I brought one treant back with me to tank the creeps while I pushed. And there we go. I use Wrath of Nature now because I have vision of everybody. We're going for a kill, it looks like. I'm getting ready to TP in somewhere here. I know I am. Yeah, I am. There I go. Where am I going to go? And I TP right into the fight. This guy got glimmered. If he wasn't glimmered, we would have been okay. Now look, he's going to charge me. Look how little damage he does to me. Get ready, get ready. I'm going to use my Mekansm. I'm going to sprout, and I should TP home. Why don't I just TP home? If I would have just if I would have sprouted myself and TP'd home, I would have been okay. But anyway, dropping that Mekansm really reduces the amount of damage that this Spirit Breaker does. So my team's pretty strong right now. We've got armor reduced, or we've got an armor increase, and they've got oh, the healing cooldown. But they also got the additional bonus. Now, if I was in that fight still, if I didn't die, they would get some additional aura bonuses from my Mekansm. Which would be cool, and I'm getting stronger. I've almost got my Atos up, and once I've got my Atos, we'll be able to chase down heroes like Mirana, like Spirit Breaker, like PA pretty easily. And when I say Mirana, I mean not the Mirana that's totally on my team. Oh, this guy messed up. He slept the wrong unit, and they turned it on bait. Oh, he killed my quap. What? I don't remember that happening. I was here for this game. Oh, and he glimmers. What a player. There we go. I come in. Let's see if my mech comes up in time. Mech, save him! Damn, I didn't. I should have meched. It was ready. I think I'm mech now, but so I'm fighting early and often. Hopefully, I don't die here. Yes, I managed to survive. Again, just being a little tanky helps. Oh, and here comes Axe. Axe is probably gonna make a nice play. I think he could blink in Blade Mail and kill both of them. I'm not sure. There's enough creeps here, I think he could. But PA is strong, and Axe doesn't want to risk it. I might want to be split pushing here. That's another thing with Nature's Prophet. You can literally be anywhere on the map, so deciding what you need to be doing is really difficult. With this build, it's pretty easy to decide. You have to prioritize team fights. You're not really a rat. Like, you push waves, but you're not a rat. Like, you don't have a lot of rat damage. You don't have a lot of right-click damage with this build. You have a lot of sustain, you have a lot of lockdown, you have a lot of survivability, and you have a lot to offer your team, along with a little bit of a root. Now I want to talk about Atos now that it's completed. Rod of Atos gives you 20 damage. Nature's Prophet is an intelligence. Nature's Prophet is an intelligence hero, so that means you get 20 damage from Rod of Atos when you build it. You get 15 strength, which is obviously really good for your health and your HP regen, and then you've got a little bit of armor and some damage, 6 damage. I mean, damage isn't really what you care about, but having 6 damage is nice. Now check it out. Like, this guy's here. I'm just gonna root him, I think. I'm gonna wait. I was saving it. Am I gonna sprout myself here? Okay, so I dropped the mech, keeping my whole team alive. Look how low look how low I got. They really went on me there. Like, I took a ton of damage and healed a lot. Now my whole team's alive, and we've team wiped them. With a team wipe, after a team wipe with Nature's Prophet on your team, you're more than likely going to take a tower or 2. The reason I say or 2 is because Nature's on his own can go ahead and take another tower. Now, if you take a look at the skill I've leveled up, I got the +4 treants. Now, splitting up your treants is really good here. You can use 5 to push forward. You can use 5 to push another wave, another lane. Like I could have sent some top, but we're pushing their high ground here, and I'm coming back to across the map to not let them get any free towers or anything, like even a free tier 1 with Nature's Prophet. If you're able to defend it, go do it. Go do it. It's really the only thing you need to do aside from helping your team in all these team fights. Now my team should back out here. I hope we don't get team wiped. I know we win this game, but I don't remember if we got team wiped or not. Nope. Alright, I'm back in base again. And what's the next item I'm going for? Awesome! It is a Solar Crest, so it's exactly the build that I wanted to show off. So the next item I'm going to build is a Solar Crest. It gives you 35% accuracy, which is good against PA.
Worthy tribute.
Oh, looks like there's smoked coming to kill us. Now, I've teleported bottom. This is one of those instances. Remember what I was talking about? How there's only 20 seconds that I might not be in a fight? I got 10 seconds to wait. And I don't have a TP on me. I'm actually being a real bozo here by not having a TP on me. I could walk here, sell my wand, and get a TP. I should. PA died in their smoke gank. And I'm sad to say, but this game is probably over for them. The rest of our team has played really well. I've sacrificed myself a couple of times to keep my team alive. The other cool thing about Nature's, again, another really cool thing about Nature's versus Spirit Breaker is that normally, even though normally Spirit Breaker does counter Nature's Prophet because he can chase Nature's all the way across the map, with this build, Nature's sort of counters Spirit Breaker because anybody who gets charged, there we go, Nature's Prophet shows up, mechs both of them, and you don't, or mechs your teammates and you don't lose the fight. He's gonna charge me, not gonna really do anything. We're gonna just chase some people down. I should be, oh, there we go, there's my rod, or there's my root, sprout, and we're good. Really no danger here. What am I gonna do? Gonna probably use Nature's Call and then go back to base, or maybe I'll just stay here and fight because we're really strong. So the reason I like to take these down, these trees, is in case somebody's hiding here. I know it also removes the hiding areas from my teammates. Maybe it's not the best call.Maybe I should have taken down these trees instead. That's okay though. And as you can see, this game's closing out nicely. It's really hard to, so this is important though. It is important to close out games because this build lacks late game damage. Now notice I'm sending all my treants down here. We're in base. I'm just sending these guys here to take out the tower. They can't deal with two things at once and they're behind. They're already behind. I should run over here and mech this whole team, but I'm being a bozo. Wanted to use Sprout for some fucking reason. Go save him! Go save him! I could have saved him. I could have saved him. Perfect. Just when it's too late, I decide to use it. Alright, now I should Atos him. There we go. Atos, run, my dude! And you can clearly see that if I was playing better, I would have saved more people on my team. No! My gyrocopter is dead! Alright. Luckily, we're so far ahead that these little mistakes that I made right there, they're not going to cost us the game, but I'm still alive. And notice my last hits, guys. Like, I'm 137. I'm still getting last hits with my treants. I took down a tower. I took down a ranged Rex. And this point in the game is so awesome. I love this point in the game. If you get an early tower, they're guaranteed not to have shrines because all you have to do is every time you use Nature's Call and you summon treants, especially with the +4 skill, you just send like 3 or 4 of them at these shrines. I should be doing that right now. I should be doing that. And you know, after like a minute or two, they're just like, oh shit, we don't have any more shrines. If they want, they can send somebody here to defend them, but like it shows you their positioning on the map. If they do come to defend this shrine, it allows your team to potentially set up a gank for them. And another cool thing that you can do with all these additional treants that you get is use them for scouting. People never think of using these treants for scouting. They're like mini wards, man. You got 10 little wards that you can send out, and they're available for 60 seconds, and every 37 seconds you get them. So if nothing else, use those little treants for scouting. Who cares if you give up a little bit of gold? It's totally worth the infinite vision you get. Nature's Prophet, benefit number 1001. Really good at roshing because you can sprout rosh. You can sprout rosh so he can't hit anybody, and then you can summon treants. He does do his clap, but he still has to go through, I don't know, what, 10 of these guys? he has to go through a little 10 little treants, so the whole time Axe isn't going to take any damage. It's not that important for Axe not to take damage, but he's just not. Arcane Ruin looking good. If you can get Arcane Ruins on Natures, also use your ultimate, use Wrath of Nature, because you want to be using it as frequently as possible. It'll give you additional farm. One thing you don't want to do with Nature's Prophet is use Wrath of Nature when they're under a ward. So if right now I couldn't see these guys, why is that? If right now I couldn't see these guys, this guy, I would use the Wrath of Nature. But since I can see that guy, I don't want to use it. It'll give away vision of where your ward is. Note, I used it. I think I just used Wrath of Nature right. No, I didn't. I summoned some trees. I used Nature's Call. I would use Wrath of Nature if I didn't see them under the ward, because I don't want to give away where our ward positioning is. If somebody's over here and you use Wrath of Nature and they get hit by it, they know there's a ward right here. Or if they're right here and they get hit by Wrath of Nature, they know there's a ward right there. So be smart, my dudes. Cool. And here you go. Like this is what I'm talking about. Nature is just being able to farm. By the way, I got my Solar Crest. I'm gonna start using it. I know I didn't use it a lot this game. It's a flaw in my gameplay and not a flaw in the build. But this is what's so great about Nature's. You can farm 2 creep waves easily, pretty much at any point during the game. You don't farm them super quick, but you do farm them at a reasonable rate. And if you take a look at my last hits, I'm still really high up on the last hit list. We're pushing in all the towers right now. All I need to do right now to make sure we win this game is make sure my cores stay fat and I don't let us lose a team fight. So we're posturing up. I've got a TP ready. If we go in there, I'm ready to come in and fight pretty much at a moment's notice, because, you know, global teleportation and all. I think I took this. We took out. I don't know how we took out the shrines. I wasn't paying attention, and I'm just keeping all the lanes pushed in. They're posturing up to push. I'll probably use my treants to go bottom right now. Let's speed up past this pause.
Let's get on with it.
Hopefully this is quick. I'm at 16 times. All right, let's go back. Let's go back 10, 20, 30 seconds. Okay, here we go. So fight's about to start. PA was paused. We unpaused. Okay, I'm just sending these guys in bottom. I shouldn't have gone all the way up here. It's actually kind of scary. Oh, is this global? Was he next to me? I'm not sure. Okay, here comes. Let's go mech. Okay, I pull my mech off. Spirit Breaker doesn't get any kills, and we're just too strong at this point. It's not really worth talking about exactly what happened in that team fight, except for that we've kind of snowballed as a team and we're too strong for them to deal with here. We don't even have a lot of stuns to deal with that Huskar. Huskar should have been a lot stronger this game, but we managed to shut him down pretty well early, and now with all these treants, you just send them around, and it's just the final stages of closing out a game like this. And this is how these games should be closing out. You're probably closing around the 30 to 40 minute marks. If it goes really late, your transition items, you're going to probably build some stuff to give you some damage and attack speed. So after this, I would recommend most likely going Orchid into Bloodthorn, because having a silence is really nice, and then the damage is really good. And then the item I would build after that is a Molioner to put the static on Axe and also increase my rat capabilities. They didn't even get a tower to this game. Wow, I didn't really notice how much of a stomp this one. Oh, they did. They got my tower. So embarrassing. Didn't notice how much of a stomp that was. But yeah, so this game has been finished out. Don't really need to go into any more of it. Hopefully you guys understand the basics of the build, what you're able to do, how great it can be. And that's about that. I'm going to do a little summary, watch this game end, and call it a day. So that was it, guys. That is the Nature's Prophet build. You go Mech, Atos, Crimson, and play from there. Strengths of the build. Really good for early team fighting. Great at pushing. Good if you have a jungler. It helps mitigate the damage that's done by somebody jungling. And what else do we got? You're also able to farm safely just because you're a Nature's Prophet. Weaknesses of the build. it falls off. It's sort of an inverse snowball if you don't win some of your early team fights. You're building the mech and your utility items to make sure you do win those fights, and you have a global teleportation, so you should be able to win those team fights. And apparently the Dyer has just won the victory of the game that I was playing. The skills that we're going to go with is all survivability skills. You're taking the health, you're taking the treants, and you're taking the plus 10 armor unless there's compelling reasons not to. For example, really good wave clear on the other team, or if the plus 10 armor would just do nothing for you that game, like if everybody's a magic damage hero or something like that. Thank you for checking out the game, guys. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more. I'll be making more videos soon, and peace out.